from Transformers Age of the Primes. It is another of the 13, Alchemist Prime. And he looks pretty cool. Changes into like a super SUV. And honestly, I don't know all that much about Alchemist Prime, but the dude's got a mustache. Looks like he's from like 1940s, so I'm imagining he's like, come on, Clancy, we're gonna take you to the Huskow. Or maybe not. But we're gonna break him out, go through him bit by bit, and see if this Prime is a good one to come up with some alchemy for your collection. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. And if you've been watching for a while, thanks for coming back. That's totally awesome. So we're gonna have some fun with Alchemist Prime. Be right back. So again, you can see him there in his window box, and on the back, you can see him in his various modes. And he's got some type of clear plastic weapon. I am hoping that it is not the same material as blast effects, because they look like they really belong with him. So hopefully they're hard plastic, but it's time to pop him out and get into this thing. Woohoo! So there he is on his cardboard prison. And of course we have instructions and 50 pieces of paper. Don't need that. So we'll put the instructions over here and take a look at him. He's got Autobot paper, which they should have probably just used plain paper because, again, from what I understand, and most of my knowledge of the Primes comes from Transformers 1, they didn't have Autobot symbols when the Primes were active, which is why the Primes don't actually have Autobot symbols or Decepticon symbols on them, but he does remind me of a small version of Bulkhead. So let's zoom in on him. And I'm also gonna get this plastic crap off my table, and away we go. Let's bring over the turntable of doom for him. Give him a spin. But we also have to open up his accessories. And I am pleased to report that this particular plastic is hard plastic. It is not the soft plastic of a blast effect, which is good. So we'll get rid of the Autobot paper, which is inappropriate in this case. Take a quick peek at the instructions to see how we are supposed to put his weapons on him. And it looks like they are these kind of club whack things that, you know, can hit people with. You can also put them on his arms, I guess kind of like weapon storage. And he can fall over too. Stand up straight, man, you're a Prime. And you can also, it would appear, put them together like this. I don't know what that's for. Like, this is my bra. I'm gonna put it on in just a moment. It does have, you know, two containers that could hold whatever. Or if it's something to look through, I'm not sure. But even separated, you can hook it together like so. And again, I need to learn more about Alchemist Prime. You can let me know in the comments if you'd like what that's all about. It'd be really nice if we had a show. But we'll put that aside and we will take a look at his deco. Now he's very dark. Like I said, he does appear to have a mustache. He does look like he's wearing goggles, which, you know, if he's an alchemist, maybe that kind of makes sense. And almost a little bit like a mustachioed rocketeer, something out of the 1940s. But he's got this grill here, kind of reminiscent of Optimus Prime. Wheels here, he's got those knee grills there, some silver discs on his forearms. So he's got a good amount of deco, and in the back you can see he's got a windshield. But let's go through some posability on this guy. Now he does have some pretty decent ankle swivels, so there you go. And of course it's very important that we find out if every Prime can do a toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. And yes, looks like that's not a problem for Alchemist Prime. He can kick forward, he can kick back, not as high. Seems a little stubby, don't you think? Can kick to the side, can do a full split kick, bends at the knee, and because of these little things, he can gouge you really good. And swivels without an issue. Twists at the waist all the way around, arms go all the way around, can go off to the side, which means you can also go from the top to the side, bends at the elbow, has a nice swivel there. Now the fists do not twist, but because of the swivel, he can do stuff like that, like hold his weapons and put them together. His head cannot go all the way around. It can go side to side, can kind of look up a bit and look down a bit, just a little bit, but not all the way around for the head. You know what he reminds me of, if you've ever read the comic Alpha Flight, which is a Canadian superhero team. I mean, I haven't read it in a while, but there was a guy in there named Puck. Kind of reminds me of Puck. But all right, so pretty posable. He looks like he's short but strong. So, after a couple spins on the turntable of doom, he's a little dizzy, as am I. Let's get him into his vehicle mode. Oh, but before we do that, since I have been mentioning he looks kind of short, should probably measure him. He's like a hair less than 5.5 inches. All right, now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. So there he is in his vehicle mode. Gives me a little bit of a hound vibe, bulkhead vibe. Now the weapons are stored on the top like that with these points pointing forward. So I guess they're like kind of guns. But yeah, pretty cool. Clever transformation. I do like the way that they are finding new ways to transform these things that aren't the same old song and dance. I did notice that the fists, you're supposed to turn them sideways. They don't actually, you can push them in, but they kind of pop out a little bit. It doesn't look bad. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be, right, Sigh? So Sigh is here to supervise because, you know, obviously I'm a human and can't be trusted to do things that cats can do. But what do you think of Alchemist Prime? She likes it. She's marking it. Now in vehicle mode, a hair over 4.5 inches. And of course we need to do a roll test, right, Sigh? Except you're in the way. Hello. Your tail's still in the way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Came too close to her foot, she kicked off one of his guns. But yeah, it rolls pretty well. I like it. Yeah, so he's a pretty cool looking vehicle. I do have to say, for someone who's supposed to be Cybertronian though, he looks very Earth-like as this vehicle. I don't know if there's a whole thing where the Primes show up on Earth in modern times, but yeah, this definitely looks way too Earth-like of a vehicle to be purely of Cybertronian origin, especially with a windshield. I mean, they don't need windshields, do they? Unless it was from a time he had to drive around his Quintesson Masters. Still a very cool figure. I do like him, and we'll definitely put a link in the description so you can pick him up yourself. He is a deluxe size, and yeah, he will go proudly on my shelf. You're fun. Yeah, you're definitely fun. And no blast effects cause problems. But if you're having fun watching these videos, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That would be awesome. And while you are mulling over Alchemist Prime, and check out this video over here, which is another Prime. Prima Prime. Or Prima Prime. Prima Donna Prime. Except it's, you know, not a prima donna. You'll see what I mean. But we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.